Good morning, traders. Welcome back into, of course, TTP Live, ready to have a good, dare I say, Santa Claus rally. Well, only one way to find out. Let's stick around and find out what happens, of course. And if you don't know, of course, the Santa Claus rally is really the last 5 trading days and the first 2 of the following year. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll be keeping watch to see what happens in the market today. We'll take a look at some different stocks trading. Already was able to make some money on a small one, PIK. But looking around, I see some, of course, big jumps in quantum names. QUBT all the way back up there to $20. Was able to cash on that one on Friday. Let's talk about the action. Let's get to the stocks. Of course, you guys know where you're at. It's TTP Live. Let's just go right into the show. We'll go right to the trading action. Of course, like always, on a day like today, I feel like this is one of those where you just got to be jumping on the momentum. Right now, the Q's now starting to lead to the downside. A little part of me thinking that potentially, maybe a quick sweep of down at the gates. We'll have to find out. Let's get right to the show. Wants 200, baby. You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Who's ready to get the day started? I'm ready to get the day started. And do I got something for you guys? Definitely stick around, guys. We're going to have a great show today. Excited to talk about different action today. And of course, we got some nice little additions, and we got some good specials that are coming your way. So stick around. I'll tell you guys all about those coming up. And of course, we'll take a look at some different action, right? We got a lot to talk about, guys. Stick around. We'll get to the action, looking at some stocks right now. Let's go take a look at to see what's trading right now. And what did I already get some green in? I got some green in PIK, but I'm looking around to see if I can find another big mover. I do see that recently IZTC, but seeing some other names starting to show up here. And I'm looking to see what names we can find this morning. Of course, I'll be watching the scanners to see what happens there. But we do got some big movers, of course. Rally is another one that made a big move. Let's talk a little bit about those. PIK already was able to cash in here. You guys can take a look at the action. Not looking too bad there. And PIK was able to cash on the up move on the first one. This one actually went a lot higher than I expected. I sold it for a quick move, guys. I still made a good amount of money, 328, but we'll see what happens there in PIK if it can get a bounce. Rally is another one that's getting a little bounce there. That's right there at the 4 right now. It just recently went up there closer towards the 5. Got up there to the 446. Yeah. We'll see if it can make another push off this 5. But you can see here on the 15-minute, you've had a couple of waves. You pulled back a couple of waves, maybe one more drive here in rally. Taking a look at that one, GTBT is another one that has been making a move this morning. That one got as high as $6. We'll take a look at some of these penny stocks, of course, and we'll take a look at what I'm watching in the market. One that I'm watching for, guys, is the potential reversal on maybe IonQ. This is already really strong, guys. It's up there back towards the resistance. So I'm wondering, do we hold the high from Friday's action, which was 47.41, or do we go ahead and just reject from those levels? We could get a nice little pop out the gates and then a quick takedown in these names. Of course, QUBT up there to $20, though, giving these a little bit a better look, right? QMCO also up to 52. At some point, I feel like these quantum names are going to break down. Right now, they are as strong as can be, so you got to keep your eyes on it. Another one to keep an eye out for, right, is the drone play. Drone play here with RCAT and other names. We'll keep a watch to see what happens on that. You also got, of course, in the quantum space, Rigetti back towards 1134. I mean, tons of these names just completely ripping. We'll see what happens. Can the momentum stay hot, guys? That's what we need to be watching. Right now, of course, some stocks have started to break, and some of these AI stocks are as hot as can be. Like, look at this SoundHound AI up there towards almost $23 this morning. And this one could come crashing. I think at the end of the day, what are we starting to see? We are definitely seeing the exuberance in the market to another level. And this is clearly what happens a lot of the times going into December. Why? Because what happens here is a lot of kind of that end of the year exuberance. And this is the strongest time, right? The second half of December is usually stronger than the first half of December. So now we got to keep a watch to see how much of these plays can keep running. Right. And then, of course, what you also want to start looking to see is some tax loss selling. So look for names that are really beaten down to start selling. And if anything, starting to show a turn. These are small cap stocks that we can all keep an eye out for showing up for maybe the Santa Claus rally or into, of course, the new year, the small cap rally, which will be something to watch there. We'll see what happens. IWM has been making an up move, and we can continue to watch to see what else is up on the day. Tesla doing really well today as it gets a little bit of a bounce overnight. That was a crash on Friday down to 420, now back to 430. I think this is still has some pullback ability here. It's at the 9 EMA, and some people are thinking that Tesla's going straight to 600. I don't think it's going to be a straight level to 600. I think at this point, we're looking for a little bit of some pullback. We could be coming back here towards the 350s. I know that's not what the bulls want to hear, but I'm always a little bit concerned when I see a stock just go straight up. A lot of times we can get that straight down move also. Now, there's some other ones to watch, right? Here's that Tesla chart so that you guys can see that. You can see how we came back here. We're back towards the 430s. And if you look at the 15-minute chart, this was down there to 420s multiple times last week, right? So 1 attempt, 2 attempt, 3 attempts, 4 attempts to break the 420s today. If we can break the 420 today, I think we can keep going lower on Tesla. If not, look for a 440 potential reversal back towards the upside. 450s, really things get hot on the upside. But one thing that's also pointing me to the downside is just the MACD. Look what happened on Friday. Some people are thinking that was bullish action, but if anything, you can see here the momentum starting to break to the downside. So of course, now we'll need this to swing back up for the bulls, but showing me a warning sign here. And if I think about it on the RSI, this was an extreme up there towards the 90, right? So it makes sense for a pullback. Now the question is, do you break the RSI going through the 50s and starting to show RSI going towards like 30? That could be the pullback that we're looking for to maybe jump in the party or short Tesla. Whichever way you want to think about it, right? There's different plays to play out there. AI has been pulling back significantly. That's why I'm watching that SoundHound AI. We'll see what happens on this. I'm seeing QBTS now getting a little bit of a lift as it's trying to play some catch up to the quantum names. This still has some room. Maybe it runs through 8 here in the pre-market. It's 8:44. I hope that you guys are excited and getting ready for the day. I do see less traders out there today. Of course, I can't blame them as they're probably taking a little bit of some vacation time. But if you guys can do me one favor, that's hit the like button, of course. Hit that as we get started, of course, and we keep things going right here on, of course, TTP. We got a lot to talk about, and we'll be taking a look to see what's going on in our sunrise report. There's not much to talk about on that action, but I do want to talk about the Kramer alert. He's calling for 100 on Palantir, and that is a side of concern here, as you already are seeing Palantir starting to break towards the 80s. It's holding 82, but I think if it breaks this 80-50, I'm getting ready to short this bad boy. We'll see what happens. It could happen right now. I do have, of course, the kind of the limited account. I have 2 of the limited accounts. I have a small one and a bigger one. And stay tuned, guys. Today is going to be a massive, massive day here, guys. Palantir, we'll see if it starts to break down. It does look good, but Kramer out there, putting an alert, calling this to 100. I don't know if it's going to be able to hold on. Let me know in the chat, guys. Put a 1 if you're bullish on Palantir. Put a 2 if you're bearish on Palantir. Par with a good list. We'll go through your list, Par. You always have some good stocks. It's good to see you out there. What else is mentioned out there? Future, what's up, man? How we doing? Family doing great. You guys see, I have my one of my favorite shirts on today. A little bluey action. Yes. Gotta love some bluey out there. Hit the like button. Let's go. Let's go. There's some bullish Palantir out there. I know it. I can't blame you, Emma. A lot of people are bullish Palantir. Why? So many contracts, so many AI mentions, and not to mention the continuous mention of comparisons to even Microsoft. That's what I saw out there on Twitter. And I do think that Palantir is a good company. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's a good company. The only question is, has it gone a little bit too far? And I think that that's one thing that you got to keep an eye out for, right? A weekly tells me that we just broke through the weekly high, right? Which was that 80.59. We'll see if we break it today and start to head back towards weekly support near the 70s. That's really where I see Palantir kind of holding up. But if you look at the monthly, I mean, this has just been an absolute monster ride. Of course, you guys remember I was playing Palantir and calling for the breakout around 28s and 30s. But that was all the way back there, right? I mean, look where it's at now. I didn't expect it to get to here. I expected it to turn around 40s, and we're $40 from that. So, hey, who knows? Palantir could keep going. I think there's only one way to find out. But Kramer's call for 100 there is a little bit of some sign of concern. We'll see what happens there, guys. Definitely, let's keep it going. We'll take a look to see what else is out there and what we can find. All right, guys. All right, guys, I did want to let you guys know about our new deal, guys. I do want to let you guys know that. So definitely smash the like, guys. We got a great new deal. So anyone who buys a super extra or ultimate will be getting a free limited buying power account. So you pretty much like a buy one, get one, but not get one of the same accounts, get one of the limited accounts. So one of our smaller accounts, but we're giving you a reward and we're stepping it up another level, guys. We're also giving you 52 days instead of 45 days for the evaluation. For those that felt that it was a little tight, we're giving you another week. So I think this is one of the best deals of the year. So don't miss out, of course, and get it right now, guys. You don't want to miss that out. Of course, definitely going to be exciting to talk about. But hey, we're doing pretty good there, guys. We'll see what happens with these accounts. We've done some really good limited deals as of late. And don't forget, of course, we have multiple limited deals now. So I want to see you guys getting after it. Get those deals today before they run out for the end of the year, of course. But definitely smash the like, guys. We're excited to go ahead and get to the action. But definitely looking forward to talking more and more about the Santa Claus rally. Yes, Santa Claus rally, baby. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going, guys. We got a lot more for you guys. And, of course, look at the top here, guys. I'll tell you guys more about the Christmas special, but definitely smash the like, guys. We got a lot more for you guys today. Let me fix that banner a little bit. I hate when they don't do it right. That was my fault. I should have just checked that out here. Let me fix something right quick here, guys. All right. Actually, I'll try to just get it fixed. All right, guys, looking around out there, and it's looking interesting this morning, at least, with a couple of different stocks. Look at Rumble getting the big step-up move, guys. Rumble with a big move this morning, and there's multiple news out there. I did see a couple of investments in Tether and things like that. They soared on a $775 million investment from Tether, so that's where really they're getting a nice little big lift here. So definitely that's continuing to push here. You guys can see that from Benzinga Pro. So that has been giving Rumble a big move, guys. And Rumble, of course, we're actually on Rumble. I haven't seen the stream on there, but I know that we are on there. So, hey, check us out. If you do use Rumble, you can catch us on there. Looking to see what happens here. This is a big spike there. Got towards 11, could go right back towards that 11. Of course, could come just crashing right back down. Another one to look at, guys, is do you guys see that the miners are down big, guys? Down big and starting to forget it. Well, what's going on in Bitcoin today? I want to take a look at the Bitcoin price to see what's happening there. We are down here to 95,000 after, of course, breaking out above the 100K and now starting to get pulled right back down. So we'll see what happens here. Of course, it's been a hot. Now you're starting to see a little bit of some change in trend here. So that's one thing that I definitely want to note. And look to see if we break 90,000. If we break 90,000, these could go lower, back above 100. They could get the lift. Coin starting to break down. So that shows me a little bit of sign concern with these stocks. Soxel, we'll see what happens with the Qs. Will the Qs continue to grind higher, or will we continue the kind of correction that we've recently seen here? So that's one thing that I'll just go ahead and erase there. And I'm looking to see what happens with this trend line, right? Can we get this trend line to come into play, right? So there is a little bit of a tighter one that comes into play right here that I'm looking to see if we go into this zone, right? Back towards 510s and 500. That is a big watch for me. As, of course, we'll see also potential to come back to 513 or on the weekly back towards 540s. It could easily be right back up. We'll see what happens here. As of late, we started to get some more red action here in the Qs. We'll see what happens. I mean, back and forth action for sure in the market. So I think we got to watch to see what happens out the gates here today to know what the next move is. We are seeing some bigger moves there. Rally, of course, had been trying to go through the 450s, did do a spike to 435 there. We'll look to see if we get crash right back down below 350s. All right, what else is mentioned out there, guys? If you guys have a stock you guys want to take a look at, we can take a look at. Mara still looking good. I don't know about Mara, but let's go through some of your list, Par, and get through some of these names. All right, so Tesla we've talked about. Let's go to Boeing and then AMD. Boeing's been on a turnaround story, right? It's popped back, and this was all based of getting out of the labor situation. But what have I seen? I haven't seen anything that really makes me feel confident. The only thing that makes me feel confident is that you did an undercut and rally on this huge support. So let's see how much volume came in there. And you can see there was a good little spike of volume and then rebought action on the 160s. I think we're going to pull back towards that 160, and you're going to get an attempt towards that if you're a bull in Boeing. Now, of course, if it breaks 160 and goes through the 150, I say sayonara, Boeing. But right now, the big thing that's helping Boeing is oil prices coming down and the airlines doing well. If the airlines do well, what will they eventually do? They'll go ahead and buy more planes. So I think you got to continue to watch the airlines doing well if you want Boeing to continue to lift. All right, let's go to the next one, AMD. This is a big focus, guys. Big focus. If there's one stock I think that still really hasn't gotten the AI love, it's AMD. And the reason why I can tell that is that if you look at what prices are we near? We're near 2021 prices. So we have not gotten that AI love really in AMD. And if they could potentially get even just 10% of NVIDIA's market right now, that they own pretty much the whole market, well, that's how AMD starts to come back here. So I would be paying attention to see what happens here in AMD versus trying to trade it right now. But could it be a hot stock in, let's say, the next month? Yes. So I'm keeping it on the radar here. We'll see if it even turns around. I've seen tons and tons of YouTube say AMD is the next NVIDIA. There's only one way to find out. It's watch it and see what happens. For me, right now, I don't think it's a trade, but we'll see what happens there. All right, what else is out there? Boeing trades different than normal market. So beware. Yeah, it does trade different than the normal market. But I think what you pay attention to is also just XLI. XLI will also tell you a lot of what happened there, right? So recently the XLI started to jump up. Boeing started to make the move up higher. And now what are you seeing? You're starting to see the farm and heavy construction area have a little bit of a struggle. If it's going to hold on, we need like deer to hold on to this kind of 420 area and start going back towards the 460s. Another stock to watch there in the space that recently has been strong. Honeywell has been doing pretty decent. And then I started to see the defensive names start to get a little bounce there on Friday. Can they get an actual bounce? If these names can hold, I think the industrials can hold. We'll wait and find out. Let's keep going with some of your list, Par. We got some more ones that we can go through here. Oxy, SMCI is a no touch for sure for me. I think this is just literally as dangerous as it gets here in the middle of the chart, but we'll find out about SMCI as it keeps developing. Palantir, we've talked about. We got Rocket Labs here to take a look at. Rocket Labs is up there to $25, of course. This is a rocket company that has put out some rockets, right? It's gotten out there, but I don't know if the technology is as good or anywhere near as good as SpaceX, but it's held its own, right? I mean, it's held itself up here towards 30, could make another attempt through 30, or could start to pull back on this one. This one I have no leaning on. I'm just going to continue to watch it. Amazon's been hot since, of course, Black Friday. And I talked about how it wanted 200. It got the 200 on that day. Remember, right after, kind of right before the Thanksgiving, right? And I think that that's what you wanted to see. Amazon made that move with a big volume bar. I talked about that volume bar and how it came into that play. Now you're seeing Amazon higher. And what do you see on Friday? Another big volume bar. So watch to see if we can hold that low today and start to break through some highs to the left. So 231s on the upside. We could see a nice little push for the holidays here. So that's what I'd be watching for on Amazon. We'll see what happens here. And then, of course, you got a kind of situation with ARM and Qualcomm. So pretty much Qualcomm is getting a nice little lift after some issues here. So Qualcomm stock is gaining after a partial legal victory against ARM. And this has to do with a little bit of some situations with kind of the processors remaining appropriately licensed under its existing agreement with ARM. So there's a battle with ARM and Qualcomm here. And ARM is getting the negative side of the hit here, while Qualcomm is getting a little bit of a lift, right? So we'll see what happens if Qualcomm can hold on here. But I think both of these going down, and essentially the charts, the way they don't look great. So if ARM starts to crack today, that could be a good sign that we're going back into the red for these tech names. Micron has been strong. And then, of course, the earnings came in and just got whacked. So let's see what happens with this one. Marvell has been hanging on a little bit stronger. And then, of course, AVGO had some really killer earnings, pulled back to the 9. This will be vital, guys. If it can close the gap completely back down into, let's say, 200 and 190, I think that's where you'll see some more buyers in AVGO. But what did you see on Friday? You saw tons and tons of volume come in on AVGO. What does that tell me? They're looking for this move now. So I don't even think it comes back to 200 today. I think you're starting to see some buyers step up in AVGO. Now the only question is, do they got it picked here? Do they got it pegged on the low? They tried to buy near that hourly low around kind of the 217s, 220 area. Let's see if we get a quick move to 230 in Broadcom. All right, let's keep it going. We'll see some other action out there. Market closing at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Yes, future. We'll still do a show tomorrow, guys. We're just going to do a little bit of a quicker show. Probably be out of here 10 to 10:30. It really just depends on the way the market is trading. All right, Qualcomm, of course, up a decent amount. AVGO, those are stocks definitely to keep on your radar. PIK pulled back to the 371. Let's take a look at Rally now. Just hanging out at the 394s. We'll look to see how the quantum stocks kind of develop here. Just hanging out right now. I'm just looking at QUBT. It's up there towards 2010s. Has bounced here now. It's pulled back once, twice, three. This is that fourth attempt where it could make another move to the upside here. Doesn't look too bad. Actually, I mean, just bullish wise, just thinking like a bull right here, just on the chart. It looks pretty good here. We'll see what happens with this one. Definitely going to be one to watch. Could come right back up there towards 2050 on a nice little pop, or come crashing right back down today. It's going to be a tough one Tough one definitely to watch for, because you're now trying to approach the break above this high here. So I'd keep the 22.09 as a big watch today, and we'll see if we start to break back through the 20. Definitely you got that trend line approach where you can start to break out there. The only question is, can it get enough to get through all the way up there towards the 22 and start to get it going? All right, what else is being mentioned out there? You guys out there, what are you guys watching this morning? Smash it up. Smash it up. Time to get a little coffee. And Merry Christmas to all out there. Yes, Merry Christmas, guys. All right, we'll see what we can come up with. What can we trade here? It's 9:01. We still got about 29 minutes for the bell. So I got to go looking to see what other trades can maybe we have up our sleeve. Lulu is one to maybe take a look at, as we can talk some retail, of course. Take a look to see what happens there. Will we get a 380 recovery on Lulu? And then, of course, last week's stock that got hit hard, but we'll see if it bounces, is Nike. I still like Nike, guys. I think this is starting to show me that with the volume that it's getting right now, can it get out of this area, right? I'm just looking to see if it can get out of this area. But what does this look like on the daily? This looks like a head and shoulders pattern to me, right? It looks bearish, if anything. Like, this is your head, right? Then you got your right-hand side, your right-hand shoulder, and you got your left-hand shoulder. Now the only question is, do you break back down into this area? And if you do, watch out for Nike, because it ain't going to be looking pretty if this happens, right? So that's your danger zone, danger station. But if we can get back above that right shoulder, this peak here, where we got a little bit of a wick, that wick went to 81.18. So that's going to be right here. This is where I'll put my green line. Anything back above that line will get me excited to see that Nike could come back and fill that gap back towards the 95. So I think that right now I pretty much can leave it in between that and look to see what happens there. Of course, Nike could be moving with some other kind of shoes. You can look to see if maybe finally we can start to get a move in Crocs. Crocs is one that I'm just keeping an eye out. You can see how we had a good day on Friday. Now we're starting to line up here. I've been looking to see if we get a gap move here since pretty much the 10th of December. Let's see if we can start to get it. We got a good volume there. We just need to start to get the move now. So I'd keep this one on the radar, especially through the 114 today is an area that I will be watching, guys. Of course, I'll also be watching Nike to see if it goes back through 77 on the top end. And you can look at the hourlies to watch for that. 114, definitely on Crocs, going to be something to watch. Trying to set that alert here. All right, setting the alert there for Crocs. We'll try to catch it when it starts to make the move here, looking around to see what else is making a move in the recent kind of action here. Not much action, not much I'm seeing. Q's bouncing a little bit. It's a little bit of a back and forth action there. All right, guys, still got a little bit more here. It's 9:05. We'll take a look around to see what else is making a move here. Looking into the streets, the Twitter streets. What are the Twitter streets saying here? Oh, a little Santa Claus hat. All right, we'll see what happens with Kramer today, guys, and the action. But definitely smash the like out there. We got a lot to take a look at today, guys. Classic Kramer, of course, coming in and trying to top kill Palantir. We'll see if that actually can top kill it or not. It's definitely going to be something to watch there. All right, looking around out there, $320,000 funded account strategy revealed on the Fivers. Guys don't know the Fivers, check out the Fivers. Check out some future action. What are they doing on there on the live trading on Trader TV? I wonder what they're trading this morning. And I keep up with those guys too, right? You guys don't keep up with them. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. Definitely missing out. All right, guys, definitely we'll see what happens today. Can we get back to the upside action? A lot of stocks kind of moving around, but there's not much out there. Biden administration announces a last-minute trade probe targeting legacy Chinese chips. That's one thing I've heard. But definitely smash the like out there, guys. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Definitely going to keep things going, and we'll see if we can maybe make some money today, of course. Let's get after it. AC, what's up out there? How we doing? It's good to see you. Smash the like out there. All right, we'll see if maybe we get some good action there on, of course, some retail stocks. I'm watching the action on the retail XRT. What happened to GameStop, guys? GameStop is just hanging out at that 30. My man Steve needs to come back in, get this stock rocking and rolling. 20 million shares, though, traded on Friday. Going to keep watch to see if it gets back above the $31 today. That's where you could get the squeeze today, guys. So I think right now we're near a kind of an inflection point, right? So what I'd say take a look at is just think about this overall. We're getting to this point where I think we can have this kind of like last couple pushes of momentum to the upside, right? And then potentially a nice little pullback going into next year. So I'm looking to see if we can maybe drive this momentum earlier before the Santa Claus rally and then the Santa Claus rally come in. If not, then we can look to see if maybe these momentum names actually break now. But one thing that points to me to the upside today is seeing the quantum names pushing, is seeing the drone names pushing. It's a little bit of back and forth action on those names. So the opening price and opening action will be very vital to see if these stocks can stay on the up end. GME, of course, one to watch. You can take a look to see if the other names kind of stay hot there. We'll go through some of the retail names also. All right, let's see what else is out there, guys. What other names we can take a look at there. Utilities pulling back significantly, starting to get a little bit of a bounce there. We'll take a look at the sectors here to see how they're performing. But definitely communication services also pulling back significantly. Energy has pulled back. Healthcare has pulled back. Defensive have pulled back. Financials have pulled back. Industrials have pulled back. Basic materials have pulled back. Technology has pulled back. Real estate and cyclicals. How are we hanging on to the top? That's just because a couple of names, right? Apple making new highs. At least we've been all over Apple, guys. All over this move, guys. I hope that you guys have been nailing Apple. NVIDIA has come back. I think that's the big watch today. Does it start to cut down through the 135? That could be a big sign that we're going into the red. So I'll even put an alert out there for you guys. If I see NVIDIA break that 135 today, I will be watching for a breakdown below that. We'll see what happens there, especially back through like kind of like the 133 area. As we start to go through that, yeah, you're going to be looking weaker and weaker there. So definitely smash the like out there, guys. All right, setting up here. It's really the 134.60. You can see NVIDIA is trying to build up on the hourly. You can see it there, and it's not a bad action there. You can see right here how this has been trying to build up, made an up move, down move, up one, down two, up three, down three, holds, pushes out, holds the pullback to that resistance. So this is going to be very vital to see if it can hold that resistance. 135 test again, could break down or recover off of it. Back through 137, 138s. Yeah, we could see some upside come in here. LAES up also, guys. This is up there towards 360. But what do I see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to break out. I think this thing is starting to kind of die out. But hey, it's still on the top end of the Bollinger Bands. W Key is another stock, very similar stock. At least this chart looks better than the other one, and we'll see if it actually starts to come back through 9 today. But this one's all over the place. They're very similar stocks. They trade side by side. Wista Wista is another one in the semiconductor space. Very similar stocks, right? All these penny stocks in the semiconductor space. We'll see what happens to them. Can they stay hot? There's only one way to find out. What's up with Lunar? Lunar has been going up, right? And has been going sideways here. We'll see if it can take another step up. It did fill the gap, but it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth action there. Kit, nothing that I like there. Let me go Rich Tech. Rich Tech, some robotics. We'll see if the robotics can stay hot. Serve is another one to watch there, guys. So I know that we've had quantum names go through the roof, but robotics is also a major play that could get a nice lift here. So I'd keep an eye out on Serve, SERV. We'll look to see if it can continue to push. All right, what's up out there, guys? Good morning, AC. And you guys out there, throw up a stock. You guys are watching. I'll keep looking to see if there's anything that I'm missing in the streets, but it's a lot of action out there. All right, so let's see what's going on out there. What a spin on the PR from JWN, calling it a 42% premium. They're going back 9 months to grab that 42% number. Meanwhile, the stock closed at $24.53 and is being taken over at $24.25. That sounds like a take under to me. Exactly that. So Dennis Dick putting out a good little comment there as Nordstrom is to be acquired by Nordstrom family in Liverpool for $24.25 per share in a $6.25 billion deal. So JWN with a deal out there, guys. It looks like JWN coming off the tape out there, guys. So this is not good news to me in the space. This is negative news to me for Macy's. Macy's was already up there to 625, 630s. We'll see if this starts to actually hit Macy's on the downside. Is this a positive for Macy's or negative for the space overall? I'd keep an eye out for this. Will Macy's break 16? Of course, I've done a couple of swing trades on Macy's to the downside, so we'll see what happens with that if it starts to break down today. I'll definitely be watching it, especially if it goes back down the low 16s and starts to break there. All right, that's Macy's. DDS is another one to keep a watch on and see if it gets weak. This has been absolutely an insane stock for about 3 to 4 years. I don't know, but at some point, I feel like Dillard's kind of resistance is going to actually hold here, and it's really going to start to turn back around. Take a look at the monthlies, right? And the monthly tells me how we keep fighting in this zone. We could come back down towards the 320s, eventually breaking 300 and going right back into like 200. I feel like this has been an insane run there for Dillard's. At some point, I feel like betting against this company in the long run, but hey, to each his own. We'll see what happens there. KSS, another one to watch there, and you can see how it's down to 14. Kohl's down big. We'll see if it's able to bounce. Macy's, Kohl's, all names that are pretty weak. And in this space, it's not a sexy area to be. What about like sexy stocks like Costco, right? Costco was super in control up there to 1,000. Now has made about a $50 pullback, and we're looking to see if it's able to hold on here. Walmart is also starting to break down, and I think this is going to be more of the China pressures really starting to get to Walmart. At first, it didn't really affect it. As you can see in early November and early December, we kind of made an up move. Now we've actually broken that down, and it was a big watch on Friday that we rejected a 93.75 on the top end, and we're back down to 91. So really quick hit there in Walmart. This could bounce one more time towards the trend line, and that's what I'll be looking for. Give me a bounce back here towards like 92.50, and I'll be looking to get short on Walmart. So 92.50 on Walmart standing out for me. Nike getting a little bit of a lift there. Nike pushing already here, guys. It's 916. Let me take a look here at Nike. I don't know why I got that alert. Yeah, I don't think I got a fill up there. It was looking like it was showing 77. It could have just been kind of some off pricing there. But Nike, we'll look to see if it gets back through the 77 spot. That was definitely interesting there. Why do I keep getting an alert on? All right, I'll put it up a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't hit that alert there. All right, we're going to keep looking around. I'm watching out there to see if there's anything else I'm missing here, guys. Let's see here. All right, looking around to see what's doing well, what's not doing well. So I'm just looking at some strength out there, guys. There's so much going on out there. All right, Tesla being mentioned out there. Nothing that I really like there. All right, here's a list. I got an interesting follow here that I thought was pretty interesting. So I'm looking to see some stocks that are up, and sometimes we'll find some guys that put out some really good information. So here's a guy named Jeff that he's done some pretty good stuff, man. And I got to give him a little bit of a shout out here. He's putting out here pretty much a nice little list, right? And so pretty much a technical analysis list with some strong fundamentals, industry grouping, things like this. I love this type of trading. This is my type of stocks, guys. So now you can take a look here, and you can see electronic technology, First Solar, semiconductor. To me, that's going to be more your solar stocks, right? That would tell me there. Rush Street, RSI. That's interesting to see that. So just taking a look at it here to see what type of stocks kind of really tell me that I should be taking a look at these stocks. Ouster is another one that's interesting. Of course, that's going to be in your kind of autonomous play. We can take a look to see what else is being mentioned here. Tidewater, man, nothing that seems interesting there. Aspen Aerogels, I've traded that. That's a penny stock that does really well. So definitely keep your eyes on that stock. And we'll see what happens with some of these. I mean, they don't look too bad there. Definitely First Solar stands out to me, but I'm just calling some different things. And I think what's important here is I like how there's a lot of kind of extras thrown in here. Some volatility, some float measures to focus on, right? Some market cap, some EPS dilution, right? There's a lot to take a look at there. And this is from Jeff Sun. So if you want to give him a little bit of a follow, give him a nice little follow. There's very few guys that I follow, guys. I follow a lot of traders that post trading stuff. That's what I try to do. So I just wanted to mention that and bring it in for the show today. So shout out to Jeff out there. I got to copy that and send it to him because he's a good guy. He does a lot of good work out there. All right, guys, smash the like. What's going on out there? Wisdom, how we doing? What's going on, man? Let's get some money out there. Where's Steph? Where's the others? Looks like we're having some traders taking a little bit of some vacation time. I can't blame them either, right? They deserve it. All right, let's go ahead. Let me get this. See if I can download this right quick. Just give me a second here, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Just trying to fix something up right quick here. There we go. All right, there we are. All right, just fixing this little Christmas banner for us, man. As we got this deal that you got to take it out, guys. You got to take that deal. Well, there you guys have it. I'll put it at the top there. As you guys can see it, there it is. Buy the deal. Get it, guys. Get it now. Free limited account, the small one. So you guys want to check that out. Definitely check them out, man. 7 extra days. It's so important. So check out those deals right now. You guys can get the super, the extra, and the ultimate and get some free action. A couple of extra days, too, could help out. The 7 extra days. Can't be mad about that. All right, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Definitely let's push it, and see what we can come up with. All right. Got a lot to take a look at there. All right. Let's keep it going, guys. And we'll see what we can come up with towards the open here. It's 9:20. It's a little bit of a slowdown today. There was a mention of Honda and Nissan kind of merging together. So if there's anything that I'm seeing there, just kind of calling it out there. I'm trying to get set up here and get these charts really ready to go here. I got the scanners ready. Let me see if I can get my other scanner up. I was having some issues with it. Yeah, it's still like showing some issues there. Let me see if I change it. Will it kind of get fixed here? Just having some issues with Benzinga Pro. and their scanner. But hey, it is what it is. I can use another way to scan out there. All right, guys, so we'll see what else is out there. We'll definitely taking a look at the market action here, and I'll be watching around to see what I can find in the market today. Maybe some small cap named rally. We'll see how that one sets up here towards the open. 386 holding on there. Has made a couple of lifts. Still has the potential to make a move to like maybe 5. I'll be watching the action today to see what happens in the small caps. All right, guys, of course, Santa Claus rally is coming here, so definitely get ready for it, guys. It's 9:21. We got about 9 minutes left here. If you guys got a ticker you guys want to take a look at, smash the like. Merry Christmas indeed. Got a little espresso, so let's go ahead and, like always, pinkies on up out there, traders. Let's get it going. Taking a look to see what happens in ARM and seeing if we get some downside out the gates there. The Q's still pretty weak here. Still pretty weak. And, of course, we got a big bounce on a Friday, so keep your watch on the hourly chart on that. If anything, the 4-hour chart is going to be a good one to watch. 4-hour chart, what it does is pretty much gives you like kind of the equal candles to kind of look at. So I would put resistance around the 523. Support around closer towards that 510 action. So we could go right back towards 510 or 512 and then start to make a move back at the end of the day or the middle part of the day. That's what I'm seeing. Early downside action coming in with late upside action. Airbnb, one to think about for up action as we get closer and closer towards the end of the year. So one thing I can clearly see, a lot of volume came in on the recent action there. So I'd keep a watch on that. Let me see what happens here. Let me see if there was some news there on that Airbnb. Of course, we did get some action there. So there was a nice 10% form on December 5th. So looking around to see what else is showing up here, there has to be something. Looks like there was a sell on Thursday where Airbnb, Joseph Gabina disclosed a sale of 214,000 shares. So, man, he sold it at 131.88. It's already at 134. Could have made a little bit more money. So, definitely this Airbnb investor selling out of Airbnb here. I think that's really crazy. I mean, why sell out now? Is he scared that this is going back to the bottom? I think if anything, this looks more like it wants to come back to 170, 200, and then maybe be like a $300 stock. I like Airbnb in the long run here. I'm just looking to see what happens. Now, let's keep an eye on it. Back through 150. This is going to be it could be a nice break above this trend line. So I'm watching to see if we can start to break back through Thursday's high 131 and start to push back on Airbnb. What do you guys think about Airbnb? Is bullish or bearish? Let me know, guys. Ragetti in the chat. What's up out there? Thoughts on short Apple? It's just very tough, guys. I don't mind doing quick shorts on Apple, but maybe back down towards like 254, 253 makes sense, but it's going to be a quick move there. And then the thing is that you might get some good mentions from like some holiday sales, and that's the only thing that has me a little bit concerned. But I think you use Apple as a good indicator there to see if we start to see a turnaround or not. Picky pick. We'll see if this one starts to get back through 4. This is how I made some money earlier today. We'll find out if I'm able to continue making some money in the limited account. This one is not doing the best, guys. This is a really tiny account, right? These are the limited. This is that $20,000 account. I'm down $76 on the account, even though I made $328 today. So I was down closer to $400. So bouncing back. We'll see what I'm able to trade today. QUBT setting up for the up move here. Now it's going to be very vital to see if it does the breakout. It's already doing the push above 20 here before the 9:30 opening here. Let's see if it breaks out here or fails. I mean, the breakout's available to it here. A little part of me feels like longing it and then shorting it. We'll find out here, guys. I think it's definitely something to watch. Rigetti is probably going to be also setting up here as I seeing it starting to make the move there. If anything, it's already on the breakout. Just made a nice move from 1220 to 1250s there. Can it keep holding on to this move? I'm watching IonQ to tell me a big sign here, right? So IonQ, if this starts to break, that's the one that I think could really start to make the other ones collapse. If the leaders go, that's what I want to be paying attention to. Right now, the leader is hanging on, which is IonQ, of course. All right, if people use it and always are and always will use it, it's a good investment. Yeah, Airbnb in the long run. Yeah, I think so too, man. I think that, I just think about it this way. How many people are using Airbnbs today already? I can tell you, I already know a couple of people that are using Airbnbs. And you guys out there, let me know, you guys. Are you guys bullish Airbnb? Put a 1. If you're bearish, put a 2. CVS maybe have seen the bottom. I mean, CVS is one of those cases where it's just like big pharma is coming after these. And then these healthcare plans might be forced to like kind of pay for like the weight loss drugs and things like that. And there might be some price caps and things. I mean, I think you got to watch to see this turn first because this is just ugly. But is it beaten down? Yeah, it's beaten down. But it's not as beaten down as some think. But it is historically on the RSI reversal. So if you want to play the historical RSI reversal, it's going to be a lot of the times when this is down towards like 6, 7, maybe even you put it up a little bit towards this kind of 13, 10 area. You can see you just went to 10. You went to 980s on the 17th. So I'd be looking at myself to see if I can get back above that high, which is 46. The big level to watch there. Right now, you did come down there towards the 43 kind of 50 area. You started to turn here. So if you're trying to play the turn, you have an opportunity. I think what you really need to see is a close above 46 and a hold of 44 out the open. So maybe it goes red to green, goes to 44 and then recovers. That's one thing that I'd be watching there on CVS. Rigetti went down 46%. I bought into its rebound up 28. Hey, get after it, Rigetti and Wisdom. Trawl. Showing up on the scanners. I don't know this one. TRAW. Holy cannolis. This one went up to 16, guys. 16? Oh, yeah. I want to be watching this one, guys. We'll see what happens with this one. This is going to be one definitely to watch. Big watch would be to see if the hourly goes red. That's back through 11 here, but it's looking pretty good here on Trawl. We'll look to see if it comes right back down. Hits into like the 9 EMA, somewhere near like 10 out the gates, and then starts to ramp back through 13. There's definitely on the watch. And there's another one, RAPT, RAPT. Got up there to $2, sideways right now. But these are a couple of them that are starting to get hot here. GTBP, another one down to 327. Can this one get back to 550s? So I think there's a ton of these that kind of just keep an eye out for. I just want to go ahead and set some alerts and let you guys know if I start to see some of these making the jump. We'll see what happens on some of these. I'm just putting the names out there, just hitting the action, getting ready. We'll see if Soundhound opens up and comes down here. That's one that I like on the downside out the gates here. Sound out the gates is one I'm looking at here. It's already breaking down here, so I'm taking a look at it, guys. I might be shorting Sound here. There's a nice little takedown on Sound already here. This one could still come back up for 23s, so I'm just waiting it here, but it definitely did have a little bit of a head and shoulders top looking action here. Now coming down through that 2247s, good cut down there in Sound to start the day here. I'm liking this action here. Don't mind it if it can come back above the 2250s here, maybe the 2260s here, and then just go right back down through it. Nice up action out the gates there. Now QUBT pulling back there. SPY and Q's pushing to the upside, though. That's one thing I'm clearly seeing. QUBT did break down out the gates, but trying to catch on some bounce now. Here's a sound right back towards the 2278. So let's see if it goes through 23. If it fails that, then I can get shorted. Right now, I'm not shorted, guys. I'm just watching the action. All right, nice rejection off that high there in the 2280s. Now I'm looking to get shorted here. I got some buying power issues there. Let's see if I get it fixed there in the meantime here, guys. Man, that's down there. So couldn't get that action there. So we'll see if I'm able to go ahead and grab it here. 2260s is what I was trying to get out there. Put out the order for 100 there. Order rejection there, and so couldn't get the order filled there. Now down to 22. Nike getting a lift through 77, guys. Gonna have to leave you guys for just a second here, guys. I'm sorry to leave you guys right out the gates here, but I'll be right back. Just give me 2 seconds here, guys. All right, guys, I'm back, and we'll see what happens there. Getting a bounce here in the SPY right off the VWAP here. I'm taking a look at the Qs. Qs bouncing also here, so let's see what we can come up with. Sound straight down. A little annoyed I didn't get my order filled there, guys. I was nailing this stock today, guys. That's a little frustrating, guys, to miss the trade there in Sound. It's down to 2150s. I had already $1 potential there in Sound. Now it's down to 2670s. I think this could bounce again here now, so it's kind of hard to come after it. And look at QUBT, right back down out the gates, down to $18 there. So definitely taking a big hit there. RCAT came back to 12 here. Now could come right back down here. We'll see what happens on RCAT. This looks pretty interesting here. It's right back up here, though, even though there's some stocks coming right back up. So be careful for a little squeeze here. Nike, though, squeezing to the upside also here. So let's see what happens here. Will we get another downturn in RCAT here? There's the down move there in RCAT. Now we'll see if it starts to kind of come right back to the lows here. And, of course, this is that drone stock. Will it go back through 12? One thing to look at here as it starts the day with a nice red to green action here, but it's holding the 15-minute low. I think that's what you got to watch here to see if it bounces off this 1176 back through 12 on the upside action. I know that I bet downside on some of these right out the gates there, but we'll see if it starts to make a move back to the upside here. All right, so it's holding that 1170 here. So now I'd look at the next candle to see if it starts to ramp back through 12 here and it starts to go back towards like 1260s, 13 on the upside. Let's see what happens there. The Q's pretty strong out the gates here. Of course, a lot of the kind of other names went straight down here. Tesla goes up, now starting to come right back down. So I'm seeing the weakness in the market right now. The VIX is getting the jump, and that tells me another move that's happening right now. So the downside is there. Rumble, though, pushed up there to the 1080s, now starting to pull back. This thing could pull back. I mean, it has a nice hourly candle. That's nice hold there. It tried to break through 11, kind of failed that action. Now starting to break right back down. So, yeah. Looked like it was a nice little break right back to the downside there in RUM. RCAT itself there now trying to recover 12 here. Let's see if it can recover 12. I don't mind it here. Let me see if I got my buying power fixed up here. Let me see here. All right, looking at RCAT here. RCAT fading off with that 1171. We'll look to see if it recovers there. Qs are up there, and QUBT got whacked there today out the gates. Was trying to get short on some of these names. I'm a little frustrated that I'm not getting the action there, but hey, it is what it is, guys. Sometimes we have a little bit of some buying power issues. Definitely something that we need to resolve. But hey, we're working on it, guys. All right, guys, we'll see if I'm able to catch the bounce there. A little frustrated on that SoundHound short because it's down to $21, guys. So that SoundHound short would have been able to nail it. But, hey, it is what it is, guys. Just got to keep it going, guys. All right, guys, trying to find out how I reassess myself because I wanted Nike long. That's already gone, long gone. It's a 78. Lulu is another one that I was looking at. That's already gone to 386. So missing those trades out the gates here. ANF doing also well. That's one that I can keep an eye out for. Airbnb, that's not doing too well today. American Airlines continuing to hold on there. Looking at JetBlue to see how that can push today. Love is another one that I like today. That pushed up there towards the 3340s. I'm looking to see if this can recover today. It's a big watch to see if it can go back through 3375. So I'm watching Love right now to see if it's going to be able to hold on to this pullback. It's a little back and forth right now, but could kind of hold this pullback and then finally go right back up. You can see the trend right now and the kind of the bull flag that I have right now on love. So let's see what happens there. The Qs is really what I'm watching here. And the SPY is kind of chopping around right now. The Qs overall, let's see what's leading the Qs to the upside. Leading the Qs to the upside, GFS, Lam Research doing well, NXPI. So some of these semiconductors doing pretty well. Qualcomm doing pretty well there. ARM is on the downside. Yes, it's on the downside. NVIDIA is on the upside. That tells me something. Watch out for the upside move. Apple holding on here. Amazon still doing pretty well there. Let's see, Microsoft. What about Google, the other quantum name, right? That needs to start coming back. That's getting hit a little bit hard there. RCAT coming back here. I thought it could come back here. It is starting to come back there. It could start to spike through the 12 here. We'll see what happens on that if we start to get some more upside in the market. IonQ, a good watch for the downside action to come in today with the quantum, and that was down, down, down she goes. Now let's see if she bounces back. 45 is the level I'll be looking for on IonQ, but RCAT starting to come back there. There's 1190s now. Let's see if we can really start to get the up action here. SPY's been holding on here. Now we're back towards the 12 here. Let's go for it. I like this one. Croc's giving me an alert there. That's something definitely to look at. All right, back towards the 1195s here, and now we're into the 80s, 1190s here. I'm watching this RCAT here to see if it can spike above the 12s. I'm going to take the smaller account with this one and see what I can do. All right, guys, just grabbed it there at 1196. So now trying to see if it could pop towards the 12 here and really start to climb back here towards the 1260s. This is still looking okay here for the bearish trade. That's a breakdown back through the 1160s, but looking to see if we can get some up action here. Q's looking pretty well there. XRT is what I'm watching also to see what happens there, but hey, good action to start. Let's see what happens here. RCAT pulling back here out the gates. Let's see if it can get back through 12s. Now it's already back down towards the 1180s here. So not doing too well here. Let's see if it can start to get back there through the 12. All right, sound. I'm going to have to leave that one alone, man. Now it's down to 2080s. I'm just frustrated about sound. Should be in the green there, but hey, it is what it is. Just got to get through it, man. All right, looking around at the scanners out there, trying to find what's moving here. And I'm seeing the SPY kind of hold on right now to the rip, and it's kind of like rejecting the move. But I'm looking to see if we can get a break back above this 15-minute chart, which is really important, guys. Let me just actually. Did I just close that chart? I think I did. Sorry about that, guys. I just closed the chart that I didn't want to close. It's fine. Just make a new one. All right, guys, I'll show you guys that. There's a spike there in RCAT. Now I'm looking for the add here, and now we're above the 1214s. How do I know? Am I really that much exposed there? All right, I can only get to 200 shares there, guys. Got to take a look to see what's up with that. Yeah, I'm having some position exposure issue there, guys. I should have been able to add there, but hey, so be it here, guys. I'm going to look to see if RCAT can really kind of take off here. Right now, I don't want it to go into the losing, but I'm in the green here, looking to see if it can pop off towards the kind of the 1260s and goes higher here. It could definitely get to that nice little 1260 spike there. Let's see if we can get it and maybe get up there towards 13 today on the top end of the profit outlook. So I'm going to put a target profit at 13. And once the stop loss gets through the 1240s, I'll move it up there. But now that we're in the 1220s here and jumping towards the 1230s, I'm going to go ahead and just leave break even here. All right, 1230 starting to show up there. I'm leaving break even, so I can't lose on this trade on RCAT. Just looking to make some more money. And really where it can get going to is that hourly high. That hourly high is $13.18, so it can go through that $13. I wouldn't mind to take that 13, so that's where I'm set up to take profits. I have $12.99 set up right now. All right, we'll see if we get this next lift. 1240 starting to show up here. Can we get through this 1240s here? Now $85 here. Could get a little bit of a pullback, so I'm cutting that off there. I'm about to just move with the stop loss up here. I took off the target profit, looking for the rip above the 1240s here on RCAT. Let's see if we can get that push above the 1240s. That's going to be the next major level to watch here. Q's rejecting, the SPY rejecting. There's the 1236. Now the 1240 is going to come into play here. Let's see if we can get it through. All right, let's go take a look at the other stocks that are moving there. I see AMD up big, AVGO up big. That's an important stock to see up, guys, that AVGO. Talked about how there was a lot of volume that came in on that. It just VWAP bounced there. So let's see what happens. AMD, though, hot, hot, hot. And par, you're on it, my friend. You're on it. We talked about how there's so many people watching this AMD, and now you're seeing that get bought up for sure. So I'm keeping a very close eye on AMD, looking for pullbacks to 122. That's the only thing that makes sense for me on AMD. It's continuing just to rip off here. So pullback to 122 makes sense for me. All right, we'll see what happens there. Sound still down big. All right, let's go. Let's go. We'll see what happens. Sound got down to $21, so it tried to short at $22.60. So it would have been about $1.60 on that profit at minimum. Looks good, man. Looks good there. Rumble, though, taking a move there towards 11. So Rumble getting things going now up there towards almost 11. Couldn't take the high. Let's see what happens. It's tried up here a couple of times. We'll see if it does fail, but it's tried. RCAT got up there towards 1220s. It's been trying to make the move back through the 1240s, but can't do it just yet. Could go to 12 first there and then stop me out, but I'm just going to hold off the break even right now and see if this just takes off. Rigetti taking a hit on the downside. It's right on the VWAP there, so a little bit better than some of the other quantum plays. QUBT is not even coming back to VWAP right now. IonQ not even coming back to VWAP right now. QMCO not even coming back. Oh, that already did go to VWAP, and now it's on the downside action. So definitely seeing the weakness there. Rigetti is going to be a big watch to watch right now on the 1175s. Could hit that and go right back to 1075, or could start to make the up move through the 1250s. There's availability on both sides there. Q's hit down, and so is the SPY here. Now we're starting to really see the weakness come right back in here. The VIX jumping here now 48.28. Could start to pull back a little bit here as this is extended, but keep your eyes on the action out there. All right, guys, starting to see that AMD pullback here. I'm just looking to see exposure and see how I'm doing there, how I'm set up. VIX starting to pull back there. We'll look to see if we get some further pullback. The Q's and the SPY dumping fast here, guys. Dumping fast. It's the Q and the SPY. Nvidia back down into the red here, so I'm watching that to see if it goes red. Apple's going red. That's a real sign of concern for me. Stoxx starting to get a little bit of a lift here. It might be a nice little bet in the second here. I would look for a nice little attempted to come up and then one move down here, create the right shoulder, and then start to kind of make a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders on the 1 minute. Big level to watch is back through this kind of 2170s. Tesla pretty weak there. Nike pulling back some of it. Nike was a quick $2 rip up out the gates, looking for a nice little pullback there. Microsoft really low now. QUBT just took another hit. Nike still doing well there. Disney getting wrecked, guys. Disney getting wrecked. Guys, you guys remember I was talking about Disney at the 114? This has been a hard short, man. But on the swing, oh, man, especially on that pop day to 116, look at the countdown there. Just keeps coming for that gap fill on Disney on the downside break. So that shows me a little bit of sign of concern today. AVGO holding well, but Nvidia is the one to watch, I think, right now. It just got back above VWAP. Will it make a VWAP attempt to break out on the upside, or will it come right back down? RCAT holding on there, guys. So RCAT still looking well there for me, guys. I'm up about 93 on RCAT here, looking for the continued breakout. Now going to start bringing the stop loss up here. Now I'm bringing it up there towards about 220s, which gets to me about $48. It's nothing crazy, but I'm just going to continue grinding this higher with RCAT because you don't know where this is going today. So I'm just going to keep trying to ride this drone play in RCAT. All right, looking around the sectors and the industries out there to see what's moving this morning. Everything in the red out the gates here, guys. Everything is red. All right, we'll see what else is going on out there, but definitely an ugly open. All right, we'll see what happens out there. I'm looking around to see what's moving. What do you guys see in the chat? Catching up with you guys. RCAT dump, Baba moving. Okay. Yeah, X is still down, man. X is still down big. There's 1260s now for RCAT. I'm seeing a little bit more pullback, but I'm seeing a lot of stocks starting to bounce here, guys. So I'm just riding the trend here with RCAT. All right, moving up the stop loss to about 76, looking for the rip towards the 1260s here. We'll see if X starts to come back, but RCAT looking really well, guys. Almost to 1275, almost that 13 outlook there. So just trying to continue to chug along, chug along. There's a big pop there, guys. Now we just got to pop to 13 there and above. So I just stopped my ad here. I want to add here 100 shares if I can. All right, just added 100 shares there, guys. Brought my price up a little bit here, but will give me a chance to just continue to ride this trend higher. Let's go. I just need about 30 seconds here. There's a nice little spike there back through the 13s. Let's see if we can get a pop towards like 1340s here. Take the money and run. All right, I did buy that at 9:55:03. It's 9:55:33. So now I got the 30 seconds. So now I can start to put the stop loss on the bottom of this candle and look for the bigger breakout. 1275s, I'll get out. I'm just looking for the pop above the 13s. There's the 1304s now. Let's see if this can really break out here, guys. Now we're starting to rock and roll. 13. There we go. Going to secure 200 now. Securing 200s up there to the 1324s. Almost a $300 winner here. There's a nice push there in RCAT now towards the 1330s here. Going to continue to ride up the target profit here. Securing 260s here, guys. Securing 260s. Just going to keep riding the trend here. Just got me, guys. It got me on the pullback there, but I'll take the money and run. Not a bad way to bounce back on this small limited account, guys. And this is only a $1,300 target profit that I need to get to. I just made $588. So almost half of that, guys. So nice 262 there on RCAT. Could have hold on to this name, but just want to take the money and run. I think this has a little bit more potential today, guys. And I'm going to start looking to see if some of these other names reverse on the Qs. The Qs are coming back here, guys. So take a look at AMD. That was a strong move right back up there. AVGO, another strong name today. Look at that, how it's taking the lead there. So now I'd keep a look to see if those stay hot and Apple stays green, NVIDIA stays green. That will be a good sign to look for continued upside. There's 1340s now there on RCAT. So now it's almost 1350s, continuing to push there. So nice money to be made there in RCAT. Money. Let's go. Oh man, super day today. 4 reward and 1 open. Let's go. Make Merry Christmas to you, Par. Get that money, guys. Get that money. I'd love to see it, Par. GME bounce, Xena and RCAT dancing together. It's good to hear it. Get that money, traders. All right, looks like I got my issues resolved there. So we're going to keep pushing here. Going to go to the other account here. Doing pretty well. I want to go ahead and go over to my other account here, but I'm riding this limited and I'm riding hot right now. So I'm looking at the small names to see if there's any other name I can jump on. All right, pulling up the scanner here. Got to take a look at the recent 15 minutes to see what's up on that. There's NVIDIA going higher. That's a good sign for the market, guys. Could start seeing these. I want to see if these kind of quantum names can stay hot there. IonQ's rejecting right now, so I don't know if it's going to be able to hold on. IonQ is a good sign there. Quantum, though, Quantum Corp is doing a lot better than the other ones. Rigetti, of course, rejected that 12 move here. We'll look to see if Rigetti can go right back up there. All right, we'll see if we get the next move here in Rigetti. I'm watching the action there. I just want to start seeing if we get another spike here in the quantum names. Tesla's spiking. That tells me more and more. Watch out there. Lulu, though, looks good there on the pullback. I'm liking Lulu on this pullback. Would love to keep an eye out on Lulu here and look for like one more dip and then the buy to really come in here. It's holding pretty well on the pullback, and so is Nike. I like those two names on this pullback. Nike's interesting, has a lot of wick action here, and the hourly is holding a support here. So what's up with these wicks on Nike? I don't know what's going on Nike there. I don't know why I'm getting these huge wicks to 77.90s. Looking pretty good here on Nike. Looking pretty good on different stocks out there, guys. Let's see what happens now. Rigetti on the smaller account here. Looking good for a recovery here of 12. Looking to see if we can get a spike back above the 1180s on Rigetti. If not, it's a VWAP short. So here's the short opportunity. The short is shorting in the VWAP and not seeing it spike above that high, which is the 1180 area. If it cuts down back below that, it could be a short, right? There's a short outlook here, and it's trying to reverse the short outlook on the 1 minute. Lulu trying to hold on there, just made a little bit of a dip down. Now could start to make the move back up here. I'm just keeping a close eye on it. And so it's Nike around the 77.30s. They're both not looking too bad there. XRT is not a bad one to watch. And Burke is one that I'm watching in the long run. This one had some really decent earnings there on Friday. Could pull back a little bit today and then set up. But I'm just watching the action here. Rocky Brands having a little lift there. Crocs, of course, guys. We talked about how that started to lift there. The shoes with holes now starting to get a push here. Looks pretty good here, guys. Looks pretty good on the outlook here. I want to put this out there because I think it's an important one to take a look at. The shoes with holes. All right, we'll see what happens out there, but a lot of action coming in here. RCAT, there you go, small winner. There you go, get that money, man. It can't be all of us, but there you go, Des. RCAT was a really nice win there. We'll see if it can continue making the move here. How is RCAT now? Ooh, there's some downside coming right back in here, so just be careful out there. RCAT got up there to almost 1389s, guys. So I definitely left a little bit on the table there. We'll see what happens. Rigetti now taking the hit with the Qs on the downside there. We'll see if this actually breaks down or does it just come back up and squeeze through 12. Definitely multiple plays available to you there. And the Qs are something to watch here, guys. It just went red after trying to attempt to go green there. NVIDIA's one to watch there. I'm seeing so many wicks here. What the heck is going on out there with the wicks, guys? Is this just my charting platform? I think I might just be having some issues there. Yeah, I'm having some issues there, some data issues. Look how that spikes and gives me a wick up there. So data issues coming all around out there. You've got to be careful when you're having some data issues. Even TC, you guys know that I was having a little bit of some issues with some buying power issues earlier, but I'm having issues all around out there now. NTRP, next trip, a bunch of holds in this thing. We'll see what happens on that. Just be careful out there, guys. Rumble now 1240s. 1240s. 1, 2, 3 moves higher. This is starting to slow down as Rumble, especially with the Qs making that down move attempt. Rigetti tried to do another breakdown there. Just keeping a watch on the action out here to see if the SPY and the Qs can hold on. Rumble trying to hold this 9 EMA again. It broke down once, broke down twice, broke down towards the third time. Now this is like that fourth attempt to the 9 EMA. Could start to break down through this 12. Rumble. I don't know if I can short Rumble and be on Rumble and them not get mad at me. So I'm going to leave that alone there. Even though it looks good for a short, I'll leave you alone, Rumble. TRAW. All right, this one had been moving all around. I've talked about how this one had the potential to go back towards the high, which was 16. It opened up around 12. This has already gone to 16, has made 1, 2, 3 halts. Now can make an up halt again. This thing's moving all around. TRAW today. What a trader today. All right, guys, we'll see what happens there. That TRAW, definitely one of the top movers of the day. AVXL, another one that's making a big move. That one got up there and holding the 9 EMA multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to kind of break above this 9 EMA. Could pull back to the 1050 here, but it's holding really well as this AVXL. We take a look at the daily chart. Nice breakout here on this AVXL, and still has momentum to maybe keep it going towards the next layer, which could bring it up to like 1340s. I mean, there's no reason why this has to come down right now, but it is a really strong stock that the momentum could start to break. We'll see what happens. You can see the cross has already happened. We're having kind of this bearish divergence where the price goes up, but the MACD is crossing down. That usually tells me watch out for a quick pop and drop. But of course, full disclosure, you guys make your own call. I got no position on this thing, but it just shows me there that, hey, if you're starting to get this to break, the momentum's not coming in. How many times do you have an attempt here? 1, 2, 3, and this fourth was a fail there. That was a big fail at the 1140s. That could be that sign of crack right back through the 11s. All right, let's see if we can get this one to maybe crack right back down here. Q starting to come down there. We're seeing that weakness in the market come in now, and really starting to see the weakness come in now. I'd like to see one more bounce on this AVXL. I want to get short right here, but I'd like to see one more bounce and fails. TRAW 1503. So that thing seems pretty hot to me. Rigetti breakdown there, guys. Breakdown in that Rigetti chart and right back down. Glad I didn't go long on that bad boy. RCAT now breaking down, guys. So that just shows me more and more how the Qs are pretty weak here. Nike holding on the 77 pullback. Lulu also pulling back there. Came back towards the opening price. We'll see if it's able to hold this 380 pullback. I like this 380 pullback for my bigger account here on Lulu. Just taking a look at it on the 5-minute here. Let's go to the 15-minute here. $78 on the downside there. The Qs are pretty weak there, but the SPY could start to make a move back to the upside here. We're just keeping a very close eye to see if we can start to come back to the green here. Qs are still pretty weak though. Big watch for me is Nvidia going back to red. Could start seeing NVDL start to give up here. Apple giving up there. That tells me a very good sign there that we could start seeing some more weakness. AVXL starting to break down there. I like the breakdown. I like the rejection to come back up through the 11. So here it is. I can get short on this thing now and look to see what happens. Just got 1192s when it was at 11. Hesitated there for a slight second. I was short out at 11 right now. There's the Qs. SPY and Q break down there, and they're breaking down pretty hard there. I'm just trying to get in this AVXL on the short side of things as it starts to break down here. All right, nothing happening on that. I think I'll get the bounce, but it's just not a quick move, and I want a quick move there. So you can see how it starts to bounce now. TRAW, though, going for the breakout there, back towards 1639s, but then could fail. I'm just keeping an eye on this thing. This thing's an absolute monster today. Look at it going through the high of the day, holding that. TRAW, complete monster, back to the upside. And that TRAW was going with a couple of other names in this very similar space. So let's go ahead. Let's see if we can find some other ones that are moving just like that. AVXL is in a similar space there. XCUR. getting alert there. GTBP. So GTBP starting to bounce back, and that was one that started to make the move there. There's a 360s now, so big move there. Just popped about 22%. I can't even get after it now. I'm just looking for some type of pullback. GTBP taking off here. Wrap, another one to take a look at there. That was just at $2, just pulling back to the VWAP. AVXL back there towards that 1117s. Now could come right back towards the 1050s here. I'm going to have to go after this, guys. I like the setup here. All right, I'm coming after it, guys. With the way the Qs are dropping in the SPY, dropping fast here, guys, I'm going to take a shot here in the smaller account. Of course, I'm up big here, so I'm taking a little bit of a bigger shot here, trying to do a nice little quick trade here towards like maybe the 1040s. 1060s, it seems like VWAP. I'll play to that. 1060s. SPY and Q came down fast there. Qs broke down to the 516s there, so definitely seeing the weakness come back in there. AMD staying hot, so keep an eye on that. Apple's one definitely to watch. That went red. Back to green, I'd be a little bit concerned. Nvidia went red. That tells me more and more we could see that downside come in. That success reversal, right? It did do that downside, now back up. So I like that look here. Might go for my other kind of account there, my bigger account here in SOXS. I just don't do well in those, but I'm going to look to see if I can get some more bearish side outlook into some of these. Sky YT, remember this was the big mover. This thing's starting to break down, right back down here. Wista breaking that down. So a lot of these names that were really strong, like W Key, starting to break down. This one doesn't look that strong there as it was a couple of days ago. Where's that other one that I'm looking for? Sorry, guys. LAES. There it is. This one to me just made it kind of like a blow off top around that 4. Let's see if it holds 4 now and starts to break right back down here. LAES. All right, got to go back to my other stock there, but I'm looking at this LAES as an opportunity here. Market's coming back a little bit. I'm going to go watch my other position here. Let's go back to that. I'm seeing AVXL. I have a good amount now, guys. Got my exposure back the correct way here, so taking a bigger shot here. Just looking for the break below the 11 here on AVXL. What's going on out there, traders? How we doing? What are you guys trading out there? There's a lot to take a look at today. It's been a battle here, guys. Starting to see some more pullback. It's 10:14. The Qs went down for a breakdown. Now they're starting to kind of come around here, so just be careful out there. All right, trying to take a look around out there. We'll see what else we can trade here. Got to keep the battles going on here. Now AVXL coming back on me here. I'm about to cut it here because I'm just not seeing the takedown that I thought I'd see by now. There's a little squeeze attempt there. So now definitely need to go ahead and set the risk here. I'm going to set the risk at 125 here. So if I do lose, I'll take the loss, right? It's going to be smart here. I still have 586 of profit on the day to play with. So let's understand that I can't get caught here in AVXL. It's okay to get out and get back in. GTBP would be one that I'd look to get back in if this cuts me out, because that shows strength in this area. And that's one thing that I could look for. TRAW showing me strength in this area. It's up on the uphold at 1789. I was just looking to see if for some reason AVXL would be the one that just kind of breaks down here. We'll see what happens. Seeing the market start to come back with some of these names, starting to look to see if we get some type of squeeze action right back. RCAT is one to look at. It's on the 1165, starting to break down, but just keeping an eye on it. IonQ still really weak there. QMCO started to come back a little bit stronger than the other names. It was back at VWAP, now right back towards the 47. Shows the weakness there in the quantum names today, and we're just not seeing that big move there. MSTU showing the kind of the bearish action that we saw in Bitcoin out the gates here. SoundHound AI. Mitch is short of the day outlook on SoundHound, and he just didn't nail it, man. It was more a buying power issue for me, but man, 2260s on this thing, it's down to $20. So really nice short outlook there. Just wasn't able to get that, like, the complete cash there, guys. All right, we'll see what happens here. Just canceling my stop for right now on AVXL because it's starting to come back down. Looking to see if I can get some type of down action to come in here. The Qs are still pretty weak, but we can get some bounce back immediately here. So just got to be very careful on this trade. Looking to see if we can get some downside to come right back into this. Tesla bouncing a little bit at the 420 spot. Remember, it bounced this morning up there to 430. It's right back to 421 and has dropped to like 416. Could keep going lower. I talked about how that one still looks to me like it could keep coming back to the 50 EMA. And it's pretty weak here. Let's see what happens on the Qs and the SPY. It's going to be vital here. All right, it just made that downside action move here towards the 1115s here on AVXL. So I'm getting closer and closer just to keep it tight. And you can see how the offer jumps up there. It's not feeling like the best move here, but I'm just trying to get it closer towards my entry here. Q's going for another breakdown here, guys. All right, I'm going to start looking to see if I can get that LAES there on the short side of things. This is my bigger account here. I got to go tight here. I'm only going to risk about $100 on this trade, but I do want to get shorted here. Just shorted it there, guys. I'm going to hold really tight on that. There's that break that I was looking for to the 390s. I want to add on this thing here in just a second here if it can come back a little bit. 396. All right, 396, 398. Actually put it up a little bit above this, kind of to the 405 range here. Want to see if this could break the 380s, then I'm really looking good. Q's breaking down. That looks really good for me there. I'm going to look to the other stock here to see if we go into the green. I'm in the green there on AVXL, and good move here on the first action there back towards the 1080s here. So at this point, I'm just going to hold break even on the rest and look for this to continue breaking down. If it can, I have a really good position here. Let me see if I can get it into the green here. Orders out there to the 1050 on the pullback, and trying to see this hold below 11 now. Back through the 1080s, and I can go ahead and set break even here. I could start to put like $50 in the green here, but that's right on the 11. So just looking to see that the bid gives up there. It went to 1080, so I do have a nice possibility of a good potential return here. I'm going break even now as it hits the lower 1080s here, and I'll throw down the target profit to see if it can go a little bit lower here. There you go, 1070 starting to show up. That looks pretty good here. I don't mind taking the profits and running through the 1070s, so I'm just looking for a little bit more here. Let's see if we can get through that. All right, LAES still looking good for me on that one. In the other account, I'm trying to manage here and take both accounts and make that money, baby. Make that money. Smash the like. Let's go. There's a nice cut down towards the 60s. I'm looking to go ahead and take the money and run here. I'm putting the stop loss up there towards the 1080s here. So guaranteeing 145, looking for a little bit more here. Now towards the 1060s, looking pretty good here. Let's see if I can just cash it here. Boom, cashed, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 838 on the limited account, guys. And you guys know that this limited account only goes to 1,301 day for the funded account. So doing really well now, guys. Up 434, and I was down 434 this day. So really making the action come in on this. And I can come right into this AVXL and keep pushing. But I got that cash there. It went to 1030, so maybe cashed it a little too early. But the thing is, I'm also trying to manage this trade over here on this LAES. So now this is looking really good here. LAES down to the 390s here. I'm going to look to go for a swing here and see if I can make some cash. I just want to make some first kind of like a little cushion here and seeing if I can make some really good money. All right, Q's and SPY kind of holding in here. Could go for another breakdown or could bounce back. So just be careful on that action there. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just take the profits and run here on LAES if it goes for like a nice little $200 move here. So I'm just setting up here to take the money. I'm up about 100. So not going to let it go to red anymore. If it comes back to 4, I'll let it go and let it go back above 4 and then look to reshort it back down through the 4. But let's see if it really wants to go in my favor today. Break that 385 and start going down here. LAES, one of the advantages of trade the pool is we can short these types of names, right? There's not many times where you would be able to get short a name like this. So let's see if we can finally get another break through the 380s. Went down there to the 77s last time it went down here. So let's see if we can get it. Trying to secure $100 here and then just keep it going. All right, right here on the make it or break it stage here, guys. We'll see if we get some more down action to come in here. I'm seeing QUBT come back a little bit. So that tells me just be careful on there. Don't get greedy here. All right, looking for that breakdown below the 389s. There's the 388s, 387s showing up there. Could go for the breakdown. There's 386 here. Now we're starting to break towards the 386, 385s. Momentum slowing down there. That means I guarantee the $100 here, guys. I'm looking for a little bit more of a bigger breakdown here, but it needs to break this. Now come back through the 390s. I will take the small money and run there. There you go. I got towards the 390s. That's still 10 cents there, guys. I don't make $100, but I make the 10 cents and I make the minimum rule and give myself a daily cushion on this account. I'm up 936 on this account. My biggest thing is seeing if I can get above the 1,000 right now and keep pushing. So yes, I could reshort this name right here and maybe risk that $100 now that it's actually in my pocket, right? So that's the other move there. If the Qs go back to red, but the Qs spiking there tells me to look at Lulu, see if maybe that can finally start to come back here, right? I need to see the Qs come back. You see the SPY come back, seeing a little bounce there. Now I'm just watching it, right? Will Apple come back into the green? Will Nvidia go back green? That is a good sign there. Nvidia back to green. AMD did pull back there, but not enough for me, and that shows me strength in AMD. AVGO right back up there. And LAES back into the green there. So that's a very important outlook. AVGOs are going to be an important one too here. 1, 2, 3 bottomings right here. 2 attempts to the upside. 1 more attempt on that 230s. But if we look at the 15-minute, up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3, could hold this and go right back to the upside. One thing that I think was important is the amount of volume I saw in AVGO was a lot of volume. So I think some bulls really want this thing. Now the only question is, where do they get it? So I'm watching the 15-minute chart. I can tell that off of the 230s looks pretty good. We could get a little pullback here towards around the 227 spot. So I'm looking to see if we kind of go through 227.45 and 226.60s, then start to turn back towards the upside. So a little quick dip below this support and then a recovery here in AVGO. LAES rejected that 4 again there. So I'm just keeping an eye on it to see if it starts to flush down here and I can get short on it. Big thing to me is Q's going back to the red there. So we're right back into the same area that we were talking about. I think I got to be patient here. I want to get short and just keep shorting and shorting and shorting, but I also got to be smart. And I can see how this can turn right back to the upside here. Rigetti right back towards 1144 tells me to put myself on alert for potential reversals coming back. I talked about how it could be red early in the day, get some bears ready, and then the bulls come back. So that's what I'm watching for now. That's kind of the turn on sentiment starting to actually make its way back here. And so RCAT could be one to watch now. It's down towards 1136. Let's see if it turns back to the upside. Trawl, of course, big move to the upside now, is on a downward halt after that opening. So that's one to keep an eye out that could keep breaking down. Rumble, of course, getting up there to 13s now. It did pull back when I was looking at that pullback opportunity, but it made it right back up off the VWAP. So strong move there. Rigetti now towards 1150s, back to the VWAP. So Rigetti is getting stronger and stronger, guys. A lot of 15 minutes of support on this kind of 1125. You got to keep a watch on that action. Back through 12 is kind of more of your spike. Back through the 11, and you got a bigger breakdown on Rigetti. It's interesting right now. Tesla and the Qs kind of hanging on right now at the very same spot. So we'll see what happens there in Tesla and the Qs. I'm watching around out there. Doesn't look good in the market at all today, guys. Everything's red from the open still. I'm watching in the recent hour. There is some things that are green now. Utilities, energy. That's not good for the market, seeing energy and utilities up. XLU, XOM making an up move there. XLU's been really kind of oversold. So I don't mind maybe scalping those names like Duke. Like Duke doesn't look too bad right now, right? It's off the VWAP, just made a kind of little quick pullback on the 1175s. Could go back towards like the 108s, maybe 109s, 108.75. So I'm just keeping that in mind on the daily. This is just an oversold kind of bounce. Dead cat bouncing. Yeah, why not, man? I'm sorry about that. Looks like I got my man Tim in the back. He tried to wake me up. He sent me a message. He was like, Mitch, you awake out there? You just traded. Well, you know how I am. Probably trading. But let's bring on my man Tim in the house. Of course, he's doing so much for us at Trade the Pool. So got to give him a shout out, man. This guy doesn't stop, man. I don't know if he sleeps. So you guys might have to ask him yourself. What's up out there, Tim?
Oh, hey, man. It's good. It's good. Inopportune times usually, but, getting over that cold, hopefully. So feeling pretty good. Hey, crazy end of the week and just continuing on in that vein today, huh?
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of action out there. I think it's right now kind of interesting. I think what we're seeing is sometimes, and I talk about this all the time, how the Max Payne trade can just flip day in and day out. I think that's what we saw today. Right. So literally it went from Max Payne on the Bulls on Thursday, right? With the Jerome Powell kind of conversation and all that, like coming in at the end of Wednesday with the rundown. And then what happened, right? Then we got the flip, right? Started to seeing the up action on Thursday and Friday, right? It started to come back on Friday with that big ramp. You put the Bears on the pressure. Then the Bulls start buying and they're like, oh no, but I have a perfect buy the pullback opportunity. And now what do you do at the open? You put the pressure on them, because if you put the pressure on them, now you wash the other side out. I talk about this all the time. The market loves to just wash the Bulls, wash the Bears, wash the Bulls, wash the Bears, wash the Bulls, wash the Bears. That's why sometimes you got to be able to flip within the trade and then look for the bigger move to happen, right?
Yep.
But hey,
I was just looking at
Bitcoin
actually, even this last night, this morning and everything, and I'm seeing like it kind of like nested sort of Gartley patterns, like all bearish, the ones I saw anyway, but you get those crazy pops in there. And yeah, Rumble, it kills me. The one time I wasn't holding anything long on Rumble, they get that investment, but
All right, re-short here, LAES, guys. Re-shorting LAES. This is a trend reversal style, looking for it. And look at the action there, guys. Bomb, bomb, bomb. She goes. Let's go. Let's get it here. Now I'm going to hold break even on this because this could keep breaking down all day long. Now towards the 380s. So looking good here. Could make another $100 here. I've been trying my best more and more just to try to take those quick momentum trades and then looking to go ahead and then look to see if I can just hold the runner. So this is a perfect style of that. Let's see if we can get to the 365s. I can close majority of it and then look to see if I can keep a remainder runner on there. Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to potentially see if there's a rumble short, just to see if aside from the just the pop and that gap there, like the fact that it's from Tether makes me wonder if there might be some kind of regulatory concerns creeping in. I think maybe less of the concern with the incoming administration, but Tether's an interesting player. So money
definitely
from them.
Interesting.
Very interesting to see them investing in the media space. That's
just got me out there on LAES. Paid my $10 in fees there. I'm willing to go back into this, guys. Rigetti above the 1179 is one to watch there. So we'll see what happens. Q's still pretty weak here. I'm looking to see if we get a spike to the upside here. I'm giving it a chance to spike above the 518s, the Q's. Will it get the spike or will it just be a quick rejection here? Could be either way, guys. So just be careful out there. Glad I got out. Now looking to see if I get back in, right? I just said, you know what? Got to keep it tight today. Keep it tight because I feel like we're getting these momentum opportunities.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. When these on a day like today, when these things pick up, they can just go. And that's, we're starting to see the liquidity come out of the market. We're starting to see the order books thin out and everything with the holiday. Probably already the case last week. You probably had a few people going on vacation Friday and everything. And, until the new year.
It's how it is. I mean, one thing to look at is just the SPY volume to tell that. So you go to the daily and you can look at the volume just to see how the volume is playing out. You see how we're only traded. We're a good portion of the market in. A lot of times the market puts a lot of the volume in the first hour. We're only trading 8 million shares, right?
No kidding.
So that tells you it right there, my friend. Yeah, there's lower volume. What happens on lower volume days is there's not so much institutional action, but more algorithmic action running the show. So these are the days where you can actually get the biggest swings, I feel, a lot of the times, because once the algos get it in a direction, they can keep it going in that direction, right? So what I'm trying to do here is being patient at 10:30, 10 o'clock, knowing that essentially we've had red action and chop in the last, let's say, 30 minutes. And so let's see if that flips. There could still be the flip back to the upside. So I'm keeping that in mind, right? Did you see how Disney's coming back for that gap, though, my friend? The House of Mouse. I can't nail it, though, man. I can't day trade that thing. I struggle on the day trade with that, Tim. Swing, I've done really well on Disney, but day trade, because the spread and sometimes it going like wide by like 40, 60 cents and then only moving $1, it's very tough to day trade Disney. At least that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, no, I've gotten beaten up on it a few times. Has some surprise moves there.
Tough to see it day trading like that, man. All right, guys, Q's now right back down, rejected to go to that 518. So the weakness is still in there. So I'm watching this LAES. Why? Because look at the daily chart on this thing. To me, this is a clear example of a blow off top, right? A stock that just broke through the resistance, made a new attempt to break out high. And essentially from the support from $2, you just made a 114% move. So it either, from my eyes, makes a huge rip back through 4 and goes to maybe 5, or really starts to break down here. So I'm watching for that to see what happens. And what am I doing? Every time it comes back towards 4, I'm stepping out. So avoiding the 4 squeeze and looking for breakdowns back through the 375s. This could easily end up today at $3.30, $3. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So you just got to know the risk to reward. What's up, dude? What are you seeing? What's the setup? Let's take a look at your charts. I think you have your charts up here.
Yeah, let's see which one I'm showing right now. Yeah, I'm actually just taking a look real quick at Dollar Tree here.
There you go, my friend.
So I mean, this looks like it looks like it's setting up their thing, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of strength in the dollar stores. And let me look on. I got a little bit of overflow here, so yeah, I might try actually just a pairs trade on this because done this before with Dollar Tree, Dollar General.
IonQ still weak, shows me the weakness in quantum. So just shows me that this isn't coming back, at least right now.
Now, what was the scoop with AMD versus the rest of the semi? Well, we got AMD and TSM. I haven't been.
There's a lot of rumors out there right now, Tim, and it's in the. I'm sure you can find it in the Reddit talk out there. That those guys that are Reddit. I saw a lot of the influencers on YouTube start to mention AMD as the buy. So that's another thing that I'm clearly seeing. And I like to tell you guys that because that's what I do a lot, right? I'm keeping up with a lot of the noise out there and then seeing if it's true. How do you see if it's true? You look at the price action, right? If I see 6 or 8 videos out on AMD and all these influencers are calling out for it, what happens? What happens is they influence buyers, and buyers are stepping in on AMD today. You can clearly see that because AMD is a momentum name. And how do I know that? When AMD doesn't come back to the VWAP, that tells me it's having a momentum day. Why? Because a lot of times AMD isn't the type of stock that does push outs, pullback, push outs, pullbacks. It does huge sweeps a lot of the times up to the top of the range to the bottom of the range. But when it hangs out at the top end of the range, these are very important days for AMD. A lot of the times it can just hold on to the 9 EMA, pull back, hold on, pull back, hold on, pull back, hold on. So take a look at the 1 minute today on AMD, and you'll see a lot of that action. So you see how you got this little push, break it, recover, break it, recover, break it, recover, break towards it, recover. So it just keeps holding that 9 right now. So what I'd look for is a bigger time frame, and if you break that 9, so I'd go to the 5, and you see how it held it here. It's holding that really well. The pattern today just holding really well in AMD until this breaks. Let's say back through 124. It's on a momentum move breakout on the daily, and it's also a turn. A turn are especially important if you see volume come in and increase before the turn. Look at all this volume. That tells me something. So just keep an eye on it, right? That tells me, yeah, this is a move that has some legs because of the amount of volume that has rotated into AMD. Now let's see if it does a day 2 move also. That'll be tomorrow.
Which is interesting because it's a half day. So
yeah. So by the time we go and look at this, let's say Thursday, where could AMD be? Right? And those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. It's hard to jump on this one too. I can tell you right now, for me, the only way I'm playing it now is 9 EMA opportunities, right? So pulls back to the 9 here at 1030, pulled back right here at 1038, right back up. But you got to hold so tight, right? That's the hard part there.
Yep.
All right, guys, looking around out there. Let's go back here towards my other account here. Did you see me killing it today on the small limited? Look at this thing, man. Look at this. I'm not doing too bad on this, Tim, today. A small limited, boy. 838 today. If only it was in the zero to start with, but I was down about 400. So not doing too bad, up 400, right? Gonna keep it going. Let's go.
Nice.
LA and I got jumping. What you seeing, my friend?
Oh no, I'm just saying I actually started a limited myself as well, just to try that out, because people are saying the experience is so different with the different minimum duration and everything. So figured I'd take
I'm seeing the market come back, guys. I'm seeing the market come back. I'm going for Lulu on my main account. This is part of my plays that I was looking at today. I'm seeing the jump come back towards that. That's 379.25s right now. So we'll see if the market can come back there, but I'm seeing some strength get in there.
Yeah, it still feels like it's fading, and we're also coming into the. Well, we've got a little while, but we are into the power hour for London now. So got the London close coming up in
The London
5-0.
Nike's another one that I like too. So I'm watching both of those. I like Nike's also. I like the hourly chart on Nike. Nice recovery back. The earnings weren't that bad either. So I'm looking at it here. Let's see if it comes right back up there. Also watching like KMX. That's just one that I'm watching long term. But just keeping an eye on the action out there. How's ARM doing now? Turning back towards it. Nvidia back above VWAP tells me watch out for upside reversals here coming in. There's Tesla getting going. That tells me something right there. So watch out. Apple back in the green will be another sign to watch for. We'll see what happens on that. Now Lulu just looking a lot better for me. I'm willing to take a shot here. It's about $1 risk, so you got to be careful with that. So I'm probably just going to go with like 50 shares to start and look to see if I can get a little bit more. See if I can get a fill on a small pullback.
Some of these cryptos it's not picking up, and then let's see, with SPY at least it's not coming into the extent it is on some of the others. It's interesting.
All right, getting a little bit pullback here.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking to get filled in on the bid here on Lulu. I'm seeing the market jump. The market's looking decent, but some smaller names are starting to come back. Like Quantum's already up there to 19. So that just tells me something, right? I'm going to take it off right now because I'm just looking at the action. I'm trying to find the best plays right now. That's really what I'm trying to do. Rigetti's coming back for that 12 that I talked about earlier. And you can see it's now back above that. So it shook a lot of that downside action this morning is Rigetti. It's right back above right here. You see that 12, right? And so I think that's one to watch there. Quantum coming back pretty quickly. QUBT back above, up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Could make one more attempt to go through that 940. It's a VWAP rejection play. So for me, it'd go one more time towards like 925, fail that move, and then would start to break back down if you're looking for bearish action. So this is another play that I could look at here to see if it can just fade away again. The big part for me, what happens with the Qs here? So the Qs could just reject the VWAP and come right back down, and we're right back into the same play.
Yeah. And I think right here, this is what I have for a channel line on the S&P. I was just watching the futures earlier, so this is a...
I got you, my friend. I'll put you up.
Yeah, I didn't even extend this out, but I can see it just drop right down to... Come on.
Steph, there we go. There you go. I wanted to see her out there. Let's go. Let's go.
And look at this. It wicks down below it, comes back up to test it, and then... There we go. So yeah, I don't know. It still feels bearish to me. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't realize a bear market, right? You know, is you'll get those kind of pops in it, right?
Yeah.
Like the bear market, the wicks up are vicious in a bear market. It's almost
dead cats.
You know.
The dead cats bounce, man.
Yeah. And that'll hurt people both ways, right? Because people will try to chase it. They'll FOMO back in, right? They're like, oh, okay, and then it'll all of a sudden drop another leg, right? Meanwhile, people trying to short it get blown out to the upside. So it can be challenging.
One that looks interesting for me, just on the short side of things, is the AVXL to come right back in it, right? I could come right back after this bad boy. So let's see what I can do, man. I've been killing it on this one. There's some more downside coming in already. 8X. Oh, they dropped. Yeah, I hate when that happens, right? When you're trying to set up a play and then it drops like 30, 40 cents on you. It's like, well, now it's a little bit too late there, bud. Need those hotkeys ready to go, man.
Yeah. So yeah, the dollar stores are having some strength.
Quantum.
Walmart a little bit. Here we go. This could be that top on Rumble here. So I'm gonna give it a little try.
A short on Rumble.
Yeah.
I can't blame you on that, man. I can't blame you. But you didn't hear me earlier.
I heard you mention it real quickly, but
I was messing around. I'm like, I know I'm on Rumble, so I'm not. I don't know if I'm allowed to short it today. They might get mad.
That's a free speech platform, right? Let's try it out. Let's short the.
Let's see how free speech it is, man. Like, I'll put it this way: I'm not gonna put out a quote saying I'm on Rumble and I'm shorting Rumble.
Yeah.
But man, I'm sure Matt Kors isn't probably shorting Rumble.
Yeah.
I like that bounce right there. So like. So I like that.
Normally, I always have a Rumble call just kind of sitting in my account. I'm always trying for it. I have a bunch of warrants, but yeah, I was kind of bummed out to miss this little pop.
Nice
here.
rejection at the 13.25s for you. That's the rule of 4. I wouldn't see it back above 13. So if you can tap 13 but not close above 13 is the way I see it, Tim. Wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Yeah. Well, now here's where it's exciting because now I only have to wait 30 seconds, right? So this is a whole new world.
Trawl being thrown out there. Trawl being out there. It's on the down hold now. So AVXL just shows me more and more that seems to me like a nice down bet play, but we'll see what happens. There was another one that was trading with this one, but I forgot the name already. Rigetti, keeping an eye on there. Playa Hotels, man. We're going to the Playa, Tim.
I don't know that one either.
That's Play. Playa Hotels, guys. The Q's just hanging on by a thread. That's LAES is one that I'm watching. It just rejected 410s again. Could go right back through 4 if we actually go red here. So just keeping an eye on that. QUBT also rejecting. That looks good like for the short now. It just broke the 1880s. Nice rejection of the 9 EMA there. So you see how this bounce went to the 1910s here? This was the one that I thought could bring it back to the 1930s. And I was a little hesitant there to short it, but I'd like that look now to hold 19. So now it could come back. It could hit 19, but I wouldn't want it to see above that high, which is like 1910. So now it just needs to kind of reject 19 and then quick sweep down to VWAP for the QUBT short. We'll see what happens on that through the 1880s is that level. But just keeping an eye on different levels there, guys. I think it's an important one to look at. And if you miss it, take a look to see if Rigetti follows it right after. So same rule of 3, right? Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Same thing, right? Like this was the breakout attempt where it wanted to keep going through here, failed it. Now you look to see if you get rejections into this area and then a move right back down. So we'll see what happens there. And Rigetti setting up for the move. There's QUBT on that 19. You see how it went to 19 right on the dot. Now, what does it do? Essentially, right here is the middle point. The bulls and the bears think they got it. Now it's more what happens on the breakdown of the range, right? Is it a downward break or is it an upward break on the range? So this is why it's so important to also take a look at indicators to try to help you describe the action. This tells me average true range coming down, tells me more consolidation to the downside. So MACD cross on that to the downside tells me unless you get a flip right back above the yellow, it's more prudent to me probably betting on the downside here. But we'll see what happens. Of course, that's a 1 minute outlook. For me, I think you look at the 5 and you see more strength there. So I'd have to wait to start seeing that 5 break to really show me the weakness on a longer time frame. But just kind of call it. And what is it really? It's just the Qs. Look at the Qs the last, 45 minutes gone nowhere. Absolutely nowhere in 45 minutes. What is this doing? It's getting traders to try to trade a lot in between this and then make the move. That's why I'm trying to just hold my horses. Even though I'm doing really well today, I'm trying to hold them. Wait till you see the action speed up and then look to see if the momentum can continue. Right now, it's just setting up and setting up. So just be careful out there, guys. What are you seeing, my friend? What do you got?
Well, that's one of the interesting things, right? Is depending on the channel, right? Holding flat, and we've talked about this before, right? Holding flat in the channel can be actually that can actually count as a rejection where it'll look like it's holding there, but not if you factor in time, right? If it's in an uptrend and it just starts holding flat, what that's really doing, if you have a channel drawn, is it's going lower and lower and lower. on those fib levels in the channel, and whenever it hits a key level and rejects, that's when you get that next leg down. I was just thinking also, I heard you mention ARM earlier. I didn't hear the context of what you were looking at it.
Yeah, it has the issue with Qualcomm, right? So essentially ARM tried to cut off Qualcomm, and in courts, they're pretty much winning. Qualcomm is winning right now. It had a small win there. So pretty much trying to battle back against ARM, trying to cut out essentially Qualcomm. So of course ARM does some...
Am I out of the loop on this so much this week? It's crazy.
It's all good, man. That one's one of those where I remember the first action of Qualcomm's lawsuit there. So that was the big action that caused Qualcomm to come down. I'm not so like in tune with the court case right now, but I know that that's what it is. That's like the big issue here, and it's a big issue because essentially, like Qualcomm would have to start finding someone else to make some of these chips, and of course they're just using ARM because they don't want to do the investment to be able to do this themselves, right? Yep. And so I think that you just continue to watch how that plays out. And the part of this is that ARM and Qualcomm had a partnership that's supposed to last here. And they're just like stepping in and just being like, no, we're just going to cut you out of the business. So,
well, you know, that's what I was thinking. ARM had the moat there, right? Just because they have so much, like the ISA, the instruction set architecture. They're so prevalent, and they have the reference designs for so many platforms that, you know, I mean, a player like, you know, maybe Google or Apple or anybody that does, you know, large machines, they could potentially come up with something on their own. But, you know, it's like, why would they want to, right? Like they can squeeze for quite a bit. So that was the thesis originally. Right now, I was looking at it today, just with things being down, I'm actually still bearish on the market and on tech in general, but I'm looking at it basically with the backdrop of loss harvesting, right? So this one has been, you know, looking at it, it looks like it might have been, you know, had some big run-ups, and then it's been kind of shorted down. So you have two things, right? You have people unwinding positions, and you have loss harvesting. So you could actually see, if you think about it, the loss harvesting would tend to probably exacerbate the trend over the year. And I mean, depending where the volume profile is, right? Which I should actually do. I should look at like a yearly volume profile. I might do that like over the weekend or the holiday or something. So
starting to see a little squeeze on this Rigetti. It's back above the $12 spot here, guys. So I'm looking to see if the volume follows it now. The volume just came in. Now I need to see some big volume come in on the pullback here to 12. Watching the action right now, and I see QUBT trying to spike. What also gave me momentum upside is Tesla. Tesla pushing here at 427, trying to get back to the 430s, of course, of this morning. I'd keep an eye out on that. So you see Rigetti coming back to 12 here. There's a reason why I didn't jump on the 1220 there. So I'm looking right now to see that reload here. You saw the volume there, 20,000 to sell. So someone said, I'm getting the hell out of this on that pop there as it came back through that 12. It could be some stops triggering also, because this was sideways on that level. So they triggered all the stops. Let's see if they go for that liquidity search back towards the 1220s. Yeah. So you see back.
If you were showing your chart, I'm still up on
I'm sorry about that. I got you, my friend. Here, guys. I'm just watching the action. It was so quick that I didn't want to miss it. So I didn't think.
No, I just want to make sure.
There's 1212s, 1220s showing back up. So you see right here, this is the big spot. You see all that buying that just came in there? So the big buyers like 9,000, 12,000, 7,000. Yeah, they stepped up there. Now I'm looking for a pullback to the 9 EMA, and then I can hold off to 12, like 1205s, 1208s. Wouldn't mind the entry there. And now the big thing for me is the Qs still haven't pushed off the 518s. If I had 519 by now in the Qs, I'd probably be buying this right here. I want to. Like, my hand is literally like, go, 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 go. But I'm being patient. Why? Because the Qs still haven't lifted off this 518. So this could still be a rejection right here. And then you get swept to the downside instead. What am I doing? I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I'm trying to be patient more and more when the market is not moving. Someone told me this a long time ago, and I think it's going to be prudent to really look at this more often, is if you're not getting a 1% move out the gates, or the Q or SPY is not trading over at least half a percentage, why are you trading? So right now the Qs are down essentially from the open about 0.2%. It's going nowhere. And what happens is when we trade too much, when the Qs and SPY are not in one direction, it just doesn't give us an opportunity to ride the trend. So that's one rule that you can maybe add to yourself to knowing when to hit the gas pedal or hit the brake pedal. Because we all know there's days where we see the SPY and the Qs just like go straight up or straight down, right? And they don't even go back to the VWAP on certain of those days. So what are those days? Those days are momentum days when we need to hit the gas pedal. Other days, brake pedal. If we're not seeing the market or the overall market move, why are you expecting a big move? You hear that, how that can kind of come into play? So, okay, just some an added bonus, guys. I always like to give you guys little snippets to think about, especially because you never know. That little snippet could expand into a new processed approach for you, and you can find success, right?
Now, what was it you were saying about the volume coming in right before the turn? That intrigued me. Like that little nuance to it. The right before is what.
Which one? On which move though?
No, just you were saying in general.
In general,
you're mentioning that earlier because I like you always hear about like, oh, you look.
That was on AMD. That was the daily move on AMD. So
and you see the volume coming in on the move, but you're saying no, look for it like right before it, because what you're essentially getting is someone trying to call the turn. A lot of that's going to be bigger money. And what are they going to do? They're going to start putting a buy program out there to buy on hourly support breakdowns. So they start to like add and add and add and add and add. But that's why there's high volume there, right? Because they're adding to the longer position. What I look for is usually volume spike before a kind of quiet day on the day that it actually rips. And then the very next day, like let's say when we get back through a resistance, like 132 or 135, look to see if you get that volume spike again to show you that not only did they set a position there at the bottom, but they're willing to add and go for a big win, right? So what I can see now is that big money is in AMD. Bigger money is in AMD. Now the only question is, can it continue through the highs? And right now you're getting that turn look, hammer candle, turn look, right? So that just tells you, look for me, hourly support test. Or if it's maybe a resistance, it starts acting as support. So that's a pullback to 122 today. And that's far. Sometimes it never comes for AMD. When it does, I like to play them. But for right now, it's just riding the 9 EMA on the momentum move, right? Look how the 9 EMA came back into play here and still riding the momentum. It still hasn't come back to VWAP, right? And so look to see if it breaks VWAP, that's when I start looking for that 122. That was a candle.
What are you seeing out there?
Just
Qs
across
down?
the board. There's. I mean, it helps if you're looking at like 10-second candles, but even so, that's that looks like it's pretty.
LAES gonna go call you back for that short there, guys. Seeing the 518 rejects there on the Qs. Now I'm looking at the Qs to see if it starts coming into play. QUBT rejected also that 1880, so that looks more and more like a short now. I'd hold off for me, 1890s is a really good important spot here. Now I'm looking to see if the weakness comes right back into this LAES.
And what is IEX is a U.S. exchange, right? That's the one that has the spool wire, right? The fiber optic thing to tune the. Yep. So I just got a notice saying that exchange is down temporarily. So, and that happened like right as all the volume fell out. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, right as we got that sudden drop candle. So.
All right, guys, taking a really quick trade here on LAES. Going to risk off to 408, which is about $60 here. Just looking to see that the Qs start to reject here. If not, it's okay to cut some of it here and then just look to get back in. Big part for me there is I already made about $90 on LAES. So I'm essentially trying to use that to see if I can get the bigger trade here where it really starts to break down. Now back above the 518s on the Qs, we're fighting. We're fighting right now. So just be careful out there, trying to pick too much too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So looking to see if we get one more rejection on this 518. Lulu went down through the low. And so, hey, that just goes to show you it's tough out there. QUBT went up there towards like 1875, almost 1880s and rejected. That was an important level to look at. Nice rejection there on the 1408 for LAES now. I'm ready to get out if I need to around the 410s. I'm seeing QUBT looking a lot better there. I want to go after it, but I'm just trying to protect this LAES right now. Now the Q's coming back. So that's actually a reversal signal here. So that's still looking strong back up there towards 518.50s. So with that being said, I'm putting my stop on LAES because I know I can get stopped out if the Q's go momentum up. I'm in a semiconductor. I don't want to get caught on that. I'm okay with getting out and then understanding that, hey, you just didn't time it right.
Mm-hmm.
So Q's going up is that signal to watch out for me. You see how it's going up pretty quickly here. So I'm watching out for that attempted trend line back. I always see these mentally, and I can already kind of see that we're going to go for that trend line approach. But I haven't had it drawn, right? But now you can see it, right? So you see how this starts to...
Now we just basically ate up that candle where we dropped down. Now it's trying to reclaim it. So.
Yep. And one thing that could also keep you less bearish right now, right? And that's using an indicator like a MACD, right? What do you want to do essentially is just look to see if it's crossed. It doesn't mean for me buy or sell, but I make my own decisions based on price action a lot of the times. Now where I'll look for confirmation is the indicators, right? Is my conviction on the right side of the indicators essentially? Because if it's on the wrong side, it tells me what? Just be concerned about that, right? Because essentially, if you're seeing this, you should also see it on the description of a lagging indicator, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're seeing some comments in the chat. Let me see if I can catch some of these before I get out of here, guys. It's 10:52. We're about to wrap up, guys. Oh, it's 11:02. Holy moly. We got to get out of here, Tim. We got a meeting, baby. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Jingle bells all around, guys. And I'll tell you what, don't miss tomorrow. I got a costume for you guys that you guys just might enjoy. I only save it for one day of the year, the 24th. So come around, guys. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Smash the like.
Also, don't forget the Discord. We have to post the details, but we'll be having some events. A little bit, we might do a special book club, and then on the 25th we'll just play some games and stuff like that. So, and I'll probably do a little research. I'll probably do a little chart digging on ARM. I had an idea when we were talking, but yeah, come play some games with us. Come hang out on the Discord if you've got nothing else going on, and if you do, then yeah, happy holidays. But
yeah,
anyway,
check out those deals, guys. Get those free limited. I mean, not a bad day for me. Up almost 835, 838 on that account. Up on this trade too. LAES in the green. Just put a stop of $20. So I do see the market coming back. So you guys out there, watch out for maybe the up action. Remember, even at the opening action of today, what did I say? I could expect maybe some opening downside to wash out the bulls, bring some bears back into the market, and then maybe wash the bears, right? It happens all the time. We'll see what happens, guys. Stick around right here. TTP Live will be here battling with you daily. I'll be back tomorrow morning, guys, and we'll be a quick one, but we will be trading tomorrow. And if you guys don't come here because you're with family, wish you the best of luck, especially going into 2025. Check out those new deals. Don't miss out.